So what's happening out there? You are listening to RGVTitanRadio.com. This is the Valley's home of original Valley music, and we're glad to have in the Titan Radio studio Dave from the Brownsville Farmers Market, man. Say hello to everybody, introduce yourself, and tell us what your official title is.
Well, I'm the market manager, and I do drive a truck, and you know in the Rio Grande Valley, girls only like to date managers with trucks.
I totally hear you on that, man. It's either the truck or the motorcycle.
Yeah, the truck or the motor. Well, you know, the girls from the poorer barrios like guys with trucks, and then the rich girls like the guys on the motorcycles.
Yeah.
Because, you know, a girl wants a guy to make money, and you can't make money off a motorcycle, but you can with a truck.
Amen to that. All right, so tell us a little bit about the Brownsville Farmers Market. Where's it located at, and what's the goal of the market?
Well, the goal of the market is to provide pesticide-free, very healthy food for Brownsville residents who are disproportionately challenged with health problems like diabetes and obesity. Recent research from the UT School of Public Health, and that school is actually one of the founding organizations of the market. But their research shows that over 50% of Brownsville residents are diabetic.
So do you guys deal exclusively with local farmers down here, right?
Yeah, that's the really cool thing about it is that it's a new breed of small farms. Like when you think of small farms, you usually think of some guy who's barely making it, who planted 3 crops of corn or 10 crops of cantaloupe, but one crop type farmer who's
right.
betting everything on their crop, and then if it doesn't come through, then that's the story of the American small farmer for the last couple of decades probably. This small farmer is a whole new breed. Most of the farmers at the Brownsville Farmers Market are incredibly political. They're extremely philosophical people. Some of them aren't. Some of them are small farmers who have worked a couple of acres for years and years and years and maybe sold their vegetables at flea markets or at corners of highway intersections or whatever. And but most of the farmers are very philosophical people who sort of came to the idea of food being grown locally and without pesticides as sort of the only thing philosophically that made sense for them. We have artists who've turned to small farm production. We have attorneys who've turned to small farm production. Just
right.
Really smart, educated people who in the past may have made a lot of money and who just kind of realize, this whole system is BS. I want to do something that really makes sense.
Now when I hear the word farmers market, and especially like the Brownsville Farmers Market, I always think back to World War II. The idea of victory farms, growing our own food. I mean, are you guys like along that same lines? That food should be grown locally and that given to the local people to help save money.
Yeah, that's interesting that you bring up that sort of patriotic connection because it is. It's similar, not explicitly, but fundamentally. It's very similar, mainly because a lot of our food comes from who the hell knows where. Like a lot of our garlic will come from China.
Wow. Did not know that.
Yeah, some of it comes from Mexico, but not, Mexico can't produce it year-round.
Right.
And when Mexico is not producing it, those times of years when you're shopping at the grocery store, you're buying garlic that comes from China.
So can we talk about how the Brownsville Farmer Market helps the environment? Because like you just mentioned that Mexico can't grow garlic year-round, and it seems that these days that countries are pushed towards growing a certain type of crop, and it ends up hurting the environment that way. So how do you see the Brownsville Farmer Market helping the environment around here?
I mean, any farmer's market is going to help their ecology in the area that it exists for a couple of reasons. One big one is that you're just not using pesticides in your growing. You're not using those chemical fertilizers in your growing, and chemical fertilizers and pesticides are bad for runoff, and that stuff
right.
makes it in. For example, down here in the Rio Grande Valley, we've had this farming industry for decades that was heavily dependent on the use of chemicals. And, we have this pristine Laguna Madre.
Right.
And that's where that stuff gets washed into.
Wow.
So, I mean, just any area that you're taking out that equation of pesticides and chemical fertilizers, it's going to be good.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to drop in a little music right now and give everybody their local music fix, and then we'll come back. We have Dave from the Brownsville Farmer Market here live in the Titan Radio studios, and you are listening to the Valley's home of original Valley music. This is on rgvtitanradio.com.